I know what you're thinking when you hear Oklahoma. Tornadoes, cowboys, cows roaming the street, and well, grass. But I'm here to show you there is so much more to Oklahoma. We have a bustling nightlife scene, thriving businesses, and much, much more. This is Everything Oklahoma. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Everything Oklahoma, where we talk about, well, everything Oklahoma. Don't forget to subscribe to become part of our Red Dirt family. So a lot of other states tend to think of Oklahoma as a quote-unquote small state. But being in Oklahoma City and traveling to Tulsa, I always meet new people that I don't know, I haven't met yet. But then I started thinking, where are the real small towns in Oklahoma? Let's take a look at some of the smallest towns in Oklahoma. Alright guys, so coming in at number 10, we have the town of Cooperton, located about 14 miles due south of Gotebo, which actually only has about 300 residents. It's a miracle they didn't make the list. And it's also northwest of Lawton, which I'm sure is the big city around there. Cooperton has been around since being planned in 1899. Now honestly, there isn't much to do here. It's really just some old buildings, a few houses with people in them. Population is about 15, but at one point it was almost 200 people that called here home, and it was actually a town. A couple of general stores, post office, bank, hardware store, it had the works. Number 9, Shamrock, Oklahoma. The town of Shamrock is situated in west central Creek County on State Highway 16, south of the junction of State Highways 33 and 99, located approximately 32 miles from the county seat of Sapulpa. Now, Shamrock received its greatest economic boost during the oil boom years, boasting close to 16,000 residents. That's a lot of people. However, as the boom gradually subsided, the population declined, as indicated by a recorded 1,409 people in 1920, and even down further to 777 in 1930. They're sitting around, 14 now. Now, this trend continued throughout the years until finally in June 2010, the town of Shamrock decided just to totally disincorporate it. We're done. Moving on. Now, honestly, I love this town because of the potential it could have had. Just think, at 16,000 residents, and imagine it growing more to maybe 30 or 40,000. And since the name of the town was Shamrock, the town adopted this Irish theme. A lot of the buildings were green and white, and even the streets had Irish names like Dublin and Blarney and Cork. So I'm picturing this town with 40,000 or 50,000 residents and this whole Irish mecca and people traveling from all different states to just come hang out in Shamrock, Oklahoma. You guys see the vision? I feel like this could have been great. Alright guys, coming in at number 8, we have Renfro, Oklahoma. Located in northern Grant County, Renfro is situated about 10 miles northeast of Medford, which is also the county seat. I don't know a ton about this city. I have stats and I know it used to be there in the 1900s, but it's pretty much nothing now. I know it's named in honor of Territorial Governor William C. Renfro, and I know that at the turn of 1900 it had 129 inhabitants. However, they've been sitting at 12 ever since. Well, alright guys, here we are at number 7. This list just keeps on moving. Here is Knowles, Oklahoma. Now, welcome to the Panhandle, the area where the counties are humongous land-wise, but barely any people there. Okay, but we aren't here to panhandle bash. The town of Knowles in Beaver County, the town began as Sand City as it was incorporated by a group of people in 1906, but when they built the post office was named Knowles after the first postmaster. Now, this caused a lot of confusion in the area. Is it Sand City? Is it Knowles? But what happened was a railroad came through. The town moved to be closer to the railroad, and lo and behold, the new town is called Lowe's. Confusion solved. Now, if you want to see this town, it is definitely still there. Well, parts of it is at least. Not much there except an elevator, a grain elevator that is, and a couple of buildings. So if you are looking for panhandle fun, maybe drive past this one. Alright guys, number 6 is Oak Grove, Oklahoma. I like that. I feel like it has a ring to it. Not a lot here. Located in Pawnee County, Oklahoma, which is just north and slightly east of Oklahoma City. In both the 2000 census and the 2010 census, they had a population of 18. It's gone down slightly, fluctuates between 12 and 18, just depending on who you ask. Alright, number 5, Jefferson, Oklahoma. Now, this town is located in south central Grant County. Man, this is the second Grant County town that's been on the list. Grant County is a pro at cranking out these small towns. This town actually had some people there, not many, 500, 1,000, somewhere in there. During the early years, they had hotels, they had stores, they had gas stations, they had grocery stores, they had quite a bit, but sadly, almost all that's gone. Looks like of the remaining 12 residents there, everybody either works in Medford or Enid. Number 4, Wickliffe, Oklahoma. Or is it Wycliffe? Wickliffe. Okay, so a lot of people can't agree on how it's pronounced, but I can say this is one of the biggest towns we have on here. They have a whopping 16 people there. Now I know it doesn't seem like a lot, and I get that. People from other small towns around that really come in their community, and I feel like it feels like a bigger place. Check this out, they even have a website for their school. Oh wait, they even have a school. Wycliffe Public Schools, you can check them out online. I even found the website. They boast 100 students. So it's safe to say that this town is very far from dead. And at number 3, we have Lambert, Oklahoma. Now located in west central Alfalfa County, the town lies about 7 miles southwest of Cherokee. So this is basically the same story as the other towns. Pretty big during the farming days, and since then it's just kind of drifted off. The population peaked in 1920 at 130, but it has drastically declined after World War II. Now in 1920 it peaked at 130, so it's never been a big town. However, now it has officially dropped to 6 per the last census. Number 2, Hoot Owl, Oklahoma. Now, besides what has to be the cutest name on this list, the claim to fame for Hoot Owl is that it's one of the youngest towns in Oklahoma, incorporated in 1977 by a family of 3 people. Now, in 1990, it peaked. The population absolutely went crazy with 5 residents. And then it failed and went to 0. But right now they're at 4, so safe to say Hoot Owl is doing okay. Number 1, Lotzie, Oklahoma. Now, contrary to the name, there really isn't a lot to see in Lotzie, but this town has a great story attached, one you might not know. The town is actually a ranch that became an incorporated township back in 1963. Now, back then, the town was mainly used as a public pool and campground for residents of the surrounding areas. Lotzie, what you may think is a play on the phrase "a lot to see," just someone being sarcastic or funny, was actually named for Lotzie Spaulding. I know, there's so many questions here. Who was Lotzie, and how does a 13-acre piece of land actually become a town? I promise you, keep watching, the answer is coming. So as I stated before, the land was used by the local Boy Scouts and church groups who would primarily use it for campouts. You know, old school Boy Scout stuff like hunting and building fires and trying to track an animal using nothing but footprints. And wait, do Boy Scouts hunt? Oh, okay, it's not important to the story anyway. Both Tulsa and Sand Springs tried to annex the small piece of land into their cities once the Arkansas River was dammed. The problem with that is that if it became part of their city limits, the family and all of the guests that they would accommodate on the land, would they actually be able to do the things that they would normally do? Remember campfires and tracking? Yeah, that. So little to anyone's knowledge, Lotzie's dad, a lawyer named George Campbell, incorporated the town. thereby protecting it and basically making it its own separate entity. Now, no one even knew about this until one day someone came up, driving up the road asking where Lotsie was. And just imagine the confusion of Lotsie, the girl, not the town, trying to figure out what the heck he was talking about. And at that same time, her father came home and told them everything. The town was indeed incorporated and named after her. But don't think that this is just some idle piece of land. As recent as 2014, Lotsie was conducting business in the town. She lives there. She has a horse center that focuses on horse boarding and riding lessons. And of course, there's her famous pecan stand called, what else? The Nut Shop. Oh, and here's something else to consider. The population is no longer 2. A huge population boom has touched even this area of our state, and they now proudly boast 6 residents, as certified by the 2020 census. So tell me, have you ever been to any of these small towns? I am all ears. Comment down below. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Comment any other video ideas, and I will just see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.